Story 1 of 36. Angus Taylor's car theft and coalitions fuel excise demands amid political crisis. Angus Taylor's car theft and coalitions fuel excise demands amid political crisis. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Angus Taylor's car was stolen on March 27 from an address in Canberra's inner south. The stolen vehicle was located later that day in Turner, a North Canberra suburb. ACT policing confirmed the theft and took the car for forensic examination. The incident occurred just hours before Taylor was due to attend a coalition press conference at a petrol station with Matt Canavan and Bridget McKenzie. Taylor's office declined to comment on the car theft. But not all outlets told the same story. SMH states Taylor's car was left running into the red with no fuel, while Newscomau does not mention fuel levels. SMH implies the car theft was the reason for Taylor's shirtless appearance, but Newscomau does not discuss his attire. SMH reports the car was taken to an ACT policing facility for forensic examination, but Newscomau does not specify this detail. This story was covered by news.com.au and Sydney Morning Herald. Story 2 of 36. Kieran Foran's NRL coaching debut as Manly Sea Eagles interim head coach ahead of Dolphins match. Kieran Foran's NRL coaching debut as Manly Sea Eagles interim head coach ahead of Dolphins match. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Kieran Foran is the new interim head coach of the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles, replacing Anthony Seibold, who was sacked on Friday the 19th of April, 2024. Foran's first match as head coach will be against the Brisbane Dolphins on Thursday the 25th of April, 2024 at Dolphin Stadium, Redcliffe. Foran is 35 years old and holds the record for the fastest transition from NRL player to head coach in the 21st century, less than 6 months after his last NRL game. Foran played his final NRL game in 2023 and won the Pacific Cup with New Zealand in his 351st professional match. 9 of Foran's former Manly teammates from 2022 remain on the Sea Eagles roster. But not all outlets told the same story. No contradictions found between the two sources. This story was covered by ABC News. Story 3 of 36. 9 men arrested for alleged large-scale cocaine and meth trafficking via Bass Strait using a mothership method. 9 men arrested for alleged large-scale cocaine and meth trafficking via Bass Strait using a mothership method. Here's what every outlet agrees on. 9 men aged between 31 and 72 were arrested across Victoria and Sydney over alleged drug trafficking. Operation Bruce Cremorne was a 10-month joint investigation by Australian Federal Police, Victoria Police, and Australian Border Force. The investigation began after a commercial trawler sank off Victoria's Port Albert in May 2023, raising suspicions about its crew's movements. Police allege the syndicate attempted multiple times to rendezvous in Bass Strait with a mothership to receive tons of cocaine and methamphetamine. 7 of the 9 men face potential life sentences if convicted of drug trafficking charges. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian reports the syndicate aimed to import tons of unspecified cocaine meth, while ABC specifies up to 3.5 tons of cocaine only. The Guardian mentions 41 kilograms of cocaine seized in regional Victoria, but ABC does not reference this specific seizure. The Guardian states the trawler sank off Victoria without specifying Port Albert, while ABC clarifies it sank at Port Albert. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 4 of 36. Australia's 2026 Daylight Saving Time transition ending in April. Australia's 2026 Daylight Saving Time transition ending in April. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Daylight Saving Time ends in Australia on April 5, 2026 at 3 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Clocks move back to 2 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Clocks in affected regions move back by 1 hour to prepare for winter. The Northern Territory, Queensland, and Western Australia do not observe Daylight Saving Time. Daylight saving will return on October 4, 2026. Most internet-linked devices, smartphones, computers, TVs, automatically adjust time zones. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 5 of 36. Victorian Liberal Party preselection battle for Western Metropolitan upper house seat. Victorian Liberal Party preselection battle for Western Metropolitan upper house seat. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Moira Deeming secured the top spot on the Victorian Liberal upper house ticket for the Western Metropolitan region after other candidates withdrew following a preselection rerun triggered by Dinesh Gurisetty's disqualification. Dinesh Gurisetty was initially endorsed for the top spot on Sunday, the 27th of October, 2024, but was later disqualified due to providing a character reference for a now convicted child sexual abuse offender. The Victorian Liberal Party executive resolved to hold a fresh preselection contest on Monday night, the 28th of October, 2024, after Gurisetty's disqualification, with nominations opening late Tuesday night and closing at midday Thursday, the 31st of October, 2024. Moira Deeming previously dropped her candidacy in 2024 after the party favoured Dinesh Gurisetty, who was backed by the party's moderate wing. The Western Metropolitan region is part of Victoria's upper house ticket for the November 2024 state election. But not all outlets told the same story. Article 2, Guardian, claims the nomination window was initially pushed for 24 hours but extended to 36 hours, while Article 4, Guardian, does not mention an initial 24-hour push. Article 2, Guardian, states that Deeming and Law do not need to renominate, but Article 4, Guardian, implies Law withdrew from the contest, which contradicts the idea that he was automatically considered. Article 1, Guardian, reports Deeming thanked Jess Wilson for support, but Article 5, Guardian, does not mention this detail. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 6 of 36. Impact of RBA surcharge ban on Qantas points earnings and alternatives for frequent flyers. Impact of RBA surcharge ban on Qantas points earnings and alternatives for frequent flyers. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Debit and credit surcharges were banned nationwide on October 1, 2023. Interchange fees for credit cards were slashed 63% from 0.8% to 0.3% as compensation for merchants. The Reserve Bank previously reduced interchange fees in 2017, leading to reduced points earn rates, some by up to a half, and capped sign-up bonuses. Qantas Health Insurance offers a 140,000 Qantas points sign-up bonus for new customers joining by April 9th. Everyday rewards at Woolworths, Big W, and BWS converts points to Qantas at a 2-to-1 ratio. But not all outlets told the same story. No contradictions found between the two sources. This story was covered by Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Story 7 of 36. Pilot fatal crash after hitting tree near Normanton Airport in February 2026. Pilot fatal crash after hitting tree near Normanton Airport in February 2026. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Pilot Thomas Knight, 32, from Clifton Beach, Cairns, died in a MacJet International-operated King Air B200 crash on February 6, 2026, near Normanton Airport, 700 kilometers west of Cairns. The aircraft struck a tree approximately 360 m ABC, 800 m west of runway, from the end of runway 32 shortly after takeoff, descending rapidly at 1,100 feet per minute, 20 kilometers per hour. The plane impacted the ground in a wings-level attitude, slid beneath power lines, yawed right, and crashed into floodwaters about 580 m beyond the runway's end. The pilot had earlier ferried 4 passengers from Cairns to Dumagi and returned to Normanton before the fatal flight back to Cairns. The ATSB preliminary report was released on February 2026, with further investigations ongoing, including air traffic control data, weather records, and recovered aircraft equipment. But not all outlets told the same story. News Kamau states the aircraft climbed to 150 feet, 46 m, before descending, while ABC reports -46m, 150 feet, as the maximum altitude. Both sources use the same numbers but swap units. News Kamau says the crash occurred 360m from the runway's end, but ABC states the plane crashed 800m west of Normanton Airport, no direct runway distance given. News Kamau reports the plane was traveling at 300 km/h land speed 10m before impact, a detail not mentioned in ABC's preliminary summary. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au. Story 8 of 36. 13-year-old girl charged in Melbourne antisemitic crime spree involving car thefts and assaults. 13-year-old girl charged in Melbourne antisemitic crime spree involving car thefts and assaults. Here's what every outlet agrees on. A 13-year-old girl from Melbourne's Bayside area was charged with 52 offences including reckless conduct endangering serious injury, multiple thefts, theft of motor vehicles, burglary, handling stolen goods, and threatening physical harm on grounds of a protected attribute, antisemitism. The girl allegedly drove a stolen black Hyundai sedan in Hampton, Riponlia, and Caulfield over multiple days last week, with 3 female occupants shouting anti-Semitic remarks and throwing eggs at pedestrians. On the 25th of March, the group allegedly swerved the Hyundai towards Jewish families crossing Hotham Street and Glen Eira Road in Riponlia at approximately 7 p.m, narrowly avoiding a collision. The 13-year-old was involved in a hit-and-run in Brighton on the 26th of March, where a stolen silver SUV allegedly attempted to hit a cyclist with its passenger door before crashing into the rear of the bike. The 45-year-old cyclist suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A stolen white Volkswagen Golf allegedly rammed an e-scooter in Elwood just after midnight on the 27th of March, causing 2 riders to fall. The offenders fled and were later arrested after a chase involving stop sticks. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and The Age mention the Hyundai was stolen from a gym in Caulfield, but ABC does not specify the location of the theft. The Guardian and The Age state the anti-Semitic incident occurred on the 25th of March, while ABC does not explicitly state the date for the anti-Semitic remarks or car swerving. The Guardian and The Age describe the cyclist's injuries as non-life-threatening and hospital treatment, but The Age's sisters quote implies more severe traumatized, but all in all, he is quite well. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and The Age. Story 9 of 36. Cricket Australia omits Sam Consters from 2026 to 27 full contracts due to poor form. Cricket Australia omits Sam Consters from 2026 to 27 full contracts due to poor form. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Sam Consters was left off Cricket Australia's full contracts list for the 2026-27 season. Consters is one of 6 players, excluding retired Usman Khawaja, not renewed on full contracts, alongside Glenn Maxwell, Lance Morris, Jai Richardson, and Matt Short. Brendan Doggett was upgraded to a full contract after his Test debut in the 2024 Ashes series. Michael Neser and Todd Murphy regained full contracts for the 2026-27 season. Jake Weatherald retained his full contract despite averaging 22.33 in the 2024 Ashes series. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC states Consters scored 33 average in Sheffield Shield with 1 century in 20 innings, while Guardian does not mention his Shield performance details. ABC mentions Consters' debut was a sparkling Test debut with a half-century, while Guardian describes it as unorthodox with a score of 60. ABC does not mention the exact number of players on the contracted squad, while Guardian lists 21 specific names. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian. Story 10 of 36. Severe tropical cyclone Mela threatens far north Queensland weeks after cyclone Narelle. Severe tropical cyclone Mela threatens far north Queensland weeks after cyclone Narelle. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Severe tropical cyclone Mela is a Category 3 system as of Monday, with sustained winds of 130 to 150 km per hour and gusts up to 185 to 205 km per hour. Mela is located in the Solomon Sea, approximately 590 to 970 kilometers east of Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. The Bureau of Meteorology predicts Mela will likely cross Cape York Peninsula around Sunday, with increasing confidence in its path. Cyclone Narelle made landfall in far north Queensland on March 20 as a Category 4 system and later struck the Northern Territory and Western Australia. Queensland's cyclone season runs from November 1 to April 30, with April being a historically active month for cyclone development. But not all outlets told the same story. News Kamau states Mela is a Category 3 system with 95 km/h sustained winds and 130 km/h gusts, while ABC and Guardian report 130 to 150 km/h sustained winds and 185 to 205 km/h gusts. ABC reports Mela was 970 km east of Port Moresby at 4 a.m. Tuesday, while Guardian states it was 590 km west of Honiara, Solomon Islands, on Monday morning. News Kamau mentions isolated showers for Gari Mackay Whitsundays with lighter rain than recent days, but ABC and Guardian do not detail these specific coastal forecasts. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, and news.com.au. Story 11 of 36. Trump appoints J.D. Vance as fraud czar targeting Democratic states with fraud crackdowns. Trump appoints J.D. Vance as fraud czar targeting Democratic states with fraud crackdowns. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Donald Trump appointed J.D. Vance as his fraud czar on the 4th of April, 2024, focusing on Democratic states. Federal officials announced 8 arrests in California on the 4th of April, 2024 for over $50 million in Medicare healthcare fraud, linked to sham hospice care schemes. The accused in California included healthcare professionals like nurses and a psychologist. The arrests were part of Operation Never Say Die targeting Southern California's hospice fraud. The Trump administration proposed a budget with record-high defense spending while cutting other programs. But not all outlets told the same story. Trump claims fraud in California is unprecedented and massive, but California Governor Gavin Newsom argues the state has proactively banned licenses and pursued criminal cases. Trump alleges Minnesota is a free-for-all with fraud, but Governor Tim Walz denies fraud and accuses Trump's DOJ of gutting fraud prosecutions. Trump states fraud in California is so large it could balance the budget, while Newsom attributes fraud to federal programs and criticizes Trump's own administration. This story was covered by The Guardian.